And
Hello.
nice to meet you. I'm
Nice to meet you.
Keelan.
Nice to meet you.
So, what are we seeing you for today?
Stress.
Stress. All right. So, what are some stressors in your life that's making you stressed?
Um, let's see. School is a big one. Money, not having enough time in the day to do what I need. So I guess time management is an issue. My job's not really stressful, but I just started a new job and I'm working a lot less than I was before. So I guess that kind of ties into finances as well.
So, it's a good thing that you're working less, but the stresses of money is where it's coming from.
Right.
Right, understandable. Where do you go to school?
Metro,
And what are you studying there?
social work.
Is that a big time commitment, or is that a
It is. When I first started college, I started out as a psychology major and worked my way into social work, and it's really surprising how much more demanding this major is than anything else.
so you say it's demanding. How is it demanding?
There's just a lot expected of the students. There's a lot of reading for each class. There's a lot of homework, research papers, which nobody likes.
Definitely. Now, so from your school, is it going to school, and is it the major that's stressing you out, or is it sounds more like it might be some time management with the papers, because I know you said time management too, of not having enough time, but the papers, everything that's due, and that's really, I mean, is that where that pressure is coming from with school?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. With my new job, I don't work on the days I go to school, so that makes it a little bit easier to be able to come home right from school and start on assignments.
Yeah,
But I'm also a procrastinator, so sometimes fighting that motivation is really hard.
yeah, it definitely is. Now, what do you do on weekends?
Well, I actually, since I just started this job a couple weeks ago, I haven't really gotten in the swing of things for the weekend, which I should. But I visit my family because I don't see them as much as I used to. And
Right.
with my parents being divorced, I have to like pick a house to
Yeah,
go to every,
definitely.
Saturday's my mom, Sunday's my dad's.
Would you consider that some of your self care, going and visiting your family and
Yes.
getting away from school and work? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's an enjoyable experience both at your mom's and your dad's.
Yes, because I get to go see my nephews at my mom's house, and then I get to go see my little sister at my dad's. So.
Very nice. All right. Now, with school and with your job, um, what do you do for yourself to keep on top of things? So I know you said you're a procrastinator, but how do you stay on top of your assignments, knowing what's coming up, not procrastinating too much and going past the deadline?
Well, I actually bought a new calendar, and it's made by Post-its, and so it's like a weekly calendar. And you put it. I've done like where I put a Post-it on every day that something's due, and like
Yeah,
what the assignment is. So it's kind of like a visual reminder for me that I have an assignment coming up this week.
yeah. That is definitely. I mean, is one thing that I would have recommended. I mean, a nice big calendar that you can see everything at one glance, and it gives you almost I feel a relaxation of like when you can see and you see it. Oh, that's 7 days, seven boxes away.
And it's liberating to rip off the week.
Yeah, get it done with. It's out of there. You can't see it anymore. It's refreshing. It's a new page. Definitely. Um, Now, with your job, do you find any issues with fitting that into your schedule, or is that just part of your schedule, or is it like trying to fit it in between family, between school?
Well, right now I did fit it into my schedule. I'm a substitute at a preschool, so
Okay.
my availability is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So I know that I always have Monday and Wednesday evenings after school to do schoolwork, and then I always have my weekends. So I mean, it's not very stressful. I make good money, like really good money for working 3 days a week, and it's what I love to do. So.
All right, nice. So, I mean, it looks like one of the big things with your stress, I mean, as I mentioned before, is time management. That's definitely something we can work on. I mean, bringing it out up in front, just talking about it, knowing that there's assignments do, for school or that you have to work on these days. I mean, that's all very good, but we can keep working on skills towards that. But are there anything else that you might consider stressors for towards your stress, or even other support systems? So I know for support system we've mentioned your family. Would assume for self care that would be a support system, your family. But are there any other supports or stressors that might be adding into what's going on right now?
Well, I have two roommates, and they are both. One of my roommates is my very best friend, and we get along great. We lived together before we moved into this apartment, so that's not a big deal. But then we had another roommate move in with us, and she's still one of my very good friends, but she's not a very good roommate. So that's
How,
kind of a stressor that she's not as accountable for taking care of herself and her belongings as we are.
gotcha. All right. Do you ever have any issues coming up with the pay for rent or between your roommates and anything?
Never financially, but definitely like cleaning and stuff. That is an issue.
All right. Do you feel then if she's not picking up after herself or not doing dishes, then do you feel obligated to pick up where she's lacking?
Yes.
So I mean, that's definitely something else. When we're looking at that, maybe putting up a schedule, a rotation schedule of dishes, or who's expected to do what, so that at least the expectations are out there. Because maybe your friend or your roommate is unaware of your expectations, or your other roommates what your expectations are for her. Um, what about support systems? What are some other support systems that you have?
Well, my friends and my family, and then I have a very big family, so they're always going to be a big support system. And then even my best friend Amanda's family, like they kind of adopted me as their own child. So
Nice. Now, when you're going through these stressful situations or stressful times, what are you feeling in your heightened stress as opposed to just daily stress?
well, I was once diagnosed with situational anxiety, so definitely that.
So explain that to me
Like
a
I
little
get
bit.
a panic attack. I feel like my chest is tight. I get nauseous. Sometimes I puke. Bury myself in my room and
Now, does that only
until I calm
happen
down.
when your stress gets unbearable to these really high levels, or can it happen when maybe just one assignment is due, but you've realized like that's due right now, and that's I mean it's one stressor
Both.
with both. All right,
But
so
definitely worse
when
when everything
everything
feels like
is
it
coming
piles
in,
up.
definitely. What do you do when you have your individual attacks, or when that stress is really high? What do you do? How do you handle yourself, and what do you do for yourself?
Well, aside from taking medicine to calm me down, I take a bath, a bubble bath, and try and do something or read something or listen to music that is different, not having to do with school, until I can calm down, have a clear mindset, and then make a plan from there.
Now, what happens if you're in somewhere public? Let's say it's a weekend and you went out to your families, or you went out with your family, go shopping, and you're doing something, and all of a sudden you realize that you have two papers due on Monday. You totally space them. You go up through that heightened sense of stress, and you're stressed out, and you start having an attack. What do you do in the situations like that?
Well,
When
that
that
hasn't really happened yet, but I
okay,
think I
that's
would
good.
just try and, get home as soon as possible to calm myself down.
Yeah. Do you ever have a feeling that you rely on your medication, or that it's your main source of relaxation when you're coming into those situations, or do you have a
No,
part
I
mental?
typically try and like calm myself down, and then if I can't do that, then I'll take
So it's almost a
medication.
last
Yeah.
resort towards.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. How long have you been experiencing the anxiety, the situational anxiety?
Um, Probably since junior year of high school.
And does that now? So we've talked about it with stress. Does that come up with any other situations where it's not necessarily stressful, but that something else happened?
In my past relationship, that was actually where I found it most past relationship for a reason. So that's like school, like finances, money, and relationships are like the biggest
Yeah.
contributors of having anxiety.
With your financial side, do you ever feel that maybe it's an obligation, or maybe you want to but need to pick up a second job, or that you may need to pick up more hours at your current job? Do you ever feel a pressure between the balance between school and work?
Yes, because I had some issues last semester with finding that balance, and there was never that balance because I worked so much and I had a lot going on with school. Um, so no, I don't really feel that obligation. I've actually looked into like financial aid and stuff, trying to help me because school has to come first.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it just sounds like you have a lot of stress with your school and your work, but that it's not so overwhelming that you don't know what to do. But we can definitely set up some future sessions, and we can talk about um, even further advancing your sticky note calendar. Getting you more visuals to help with knowing what's going on, maybe just saying it out loud, knowing when things are due, and with work. I mean, financial wise, there's definitely plenty of scholarships and organizations and places, things that you can do to help support yourself and go through school and find that extra money, and it definitely will relieve some of that stress. So definitely like to see you here soon. All right, it's really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.